How to install drivers. Thus far, we have installed Windows. During the installation, Windows has taken its best guess as to what kind of hardware is in your computer and has installed some drivers. Sometimes it guesses correctly, and sometimes, well, it doesn't. For example, it may have guessed your video card incorrectly, causing your screen to look a bit blown up or bigger than what it normally would look. This leads us to this step of the process, which is to install device drivers replacing Windows's guess. Recall those drivers we downloaded from a previous step in section 4.3. So recall this is the returning students outline. So I'm in the returning students table of contents outline. So these are all of the prerequisites required to install your operating system, and one of them was how to obtain drivers. So if I click in here, if you recall, there was a list. So basically what we're going to do is start at the top of this list and work our way down towards the bottom. And recall that the BIOS update is optional, and this could be pretty much installed at any time. You can do it before or after. You could even do it before you reformat too. And then these here, these pretty much need to be in the correct order. So we would start with 01 underscore chipset 1 underscore Intel first. So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to start at 01 and work our way down to 12. And like I said before, when I was making the section 4.3.2 Dell install order, we may not have drivers for each and every single one of these categories. I only downloaded the critical ones that had to be installed in the correct order. The installation of drivers is going to be very similar to the installation of regular software. So if you have ever installed software before, like maybe on your cell phone or something, or your tablet, the concept is going to be exactly the same. And drivers are basically software that is going to tell your operating system exactly what is the hardware resource. So it's going to tell your operating system more correctly exactly what kind of hardware is in your computer, so that your operating system will know how to manage that hardware device. The other thing that I should mention is that Dell drivers will already be configured, meaning that there's not going to be too many options that you need to change, and in most cases there won't be any options that you need to change. So you'll pretty much like click accept to the license agreement and then click next, 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 finish. There's nothing that you really need to go in there and tweak. And from my experience, if you go in there and you change any of the options, this can cause the drivers to not install correctly. Because Dell drivers are already configured, this will make the installation of drivers pretty much a thoughtless activity. You can pretty much do something else and just keep clicking next until it finishes. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to show a few examples of how to install some drivers. I'm just going to start with the chipset. I'm going to start with 01 and just install a couple of these drivers, and the rest are pretty much going to be the same concept. You're going to find that after you figure out how to do a couple of these, it's pretty much going to be the same thing over and over and over. So this section will go through the installation of the drivers we downloaded earlier.